Every day is another opportunity to do something better. Practice makes progress, not perfection.
Welcome to the Sharing Passion and Purpose podcast, a weekly podcast providing career and creative inspiration to help you build a purpose-filled life. If you're interested in tapping into your creative potential, pursuing a career with passion, and building on your biggest and best resource, yourself, please join me on this path. I'm your host, Nancy Moore, and I want you to know that I'm on this journey with you. So let's get started. Before we jump into this episode, I'd like to take a minute to let you know about my upcoming live events for women called Conversations with Passion and Purpose. The live events are meant for women, and they'll include entrepreneurs, change makers, young professionals, and college-age women, in an opportunity for them to come together in a space that will inspire, uplift, and generate community while promoting networking and support through connections in a small group atmosphere. To learn about upcoming events, make sure that you are following me on social media, Sharing Passion and Purpose on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and at Passion Sharing on Twitter. I will also be sending out emails, so if you want to go to sharingpassionandpurpose.com and sign up for Nancy's Nudge of Encouragement, that is a way that I connect with the community and send out positivity, and also it will keep you in the loop of upcoming events. So I hope that you join me there as well. Now, here's the episode. From teen mom to securing a supporting role in a modern family musical at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center this month, Patricia Pineda is one amazing mom. Patricia was nominated in Tulsa Kids Magazine's Amazing Mom contest by her daughter, Dayann, who had some very special words about her mother, whom she describes as her biggest cheerleader. Besides being a supportive mom to two daughters, Patricia is a U.S.Navy veteran and a recent college graduate. But there have been times when Patricia struggled as a single mom, battling depression and homelessness, and she will never forget being in that place. Today, Patricia is focused on being a good mom and helping her daughters create meaningful lives. I hope you enjoy this visit with Patricia Pineda. Yay! I am so happy to be visiting with you. It's interesting because you were not somebody on my radar that I was going to get to talk to, and your daughter actually submitted a nomination to Tulsa Kids about having an outstanding mother, which is you. And yes, and so anyway, I was lucky enough to get to interview you, and you said yes to doing the podcast as well, so this is going to be really fun. Okay, so if you could just start out, I don't know if I should read the letter or not. Should I read the letter?
Please.
Okay. Okay, I have Patricia, aka my mom, is the most amazing mother and person in the world. I look up to her so much. She is a great role model, parent, daughter, and friend. My mom has a big heart for serving her community and has taught my sister and me that kindness is key. My mom is a U.S.Navy disabled veteran and graduated with her bachelor's degree last August, showing us that there is always an opportunity to advance your education and knowledge even as an adult. As a single parent, my mom literally gives everything she has to support us and is the strongest person I know. No matter what we have been through or go through, she trusts in God and always pushes forward. She is a great mentor to others and my absolute best friend and twin.
It's my bestie. I know I've read it, and it's hearing it. It's like I didn't hear it the first time.
Oh, yeah.
So
tears to your eyes. And that's just an attribute to who you are and the kind of parent that you are. And so here's some tissues.
Oh, thank you.
So there you go. Yes. So and I think that's absolutely amazing. So it's going to be really fun to get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you.
So if you could just start out maybe by telling us a little bit about yourself so people can get to know you a little better.
So, yes. Patricia Pineda. I'm actually 37 years old, originally from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. I'm Afro-Latina. My parents are from Costa Rica and Panama, bilingual. First and foremost, a child of God. And I am a mother to two beautiful young ladies, Diana and Dayann. Diana's 20 years old, and Dayann is 13, and she's the one who wrote the letter. Yeah. So, and I know she had some help. So, but that's definitely how she talks. So, yeah. She's my bestie. She's definitely my twin.
And that's exactly what she said. Yeah. Okay. So tell us then a little bit about your girls.
So, goodness, my eldest is a dancer. She loves to sing. She is so good with hair and makeup. She's back home in New York City. She decided to go back. That's just kind of her thing. She's kind of scared of driving. So Oklahoma scares her because she kind of has to drive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, public transportation isn't a thing out here very much. So New York, you know, trains, buses, cabs, you can run, bike everywhere, something. So she decided that New York is kind of her space at this moment. So she's back home. And then Dayann is a 7th grader in Jenks Middle School. She's a violinist. She's on the student council. She is on the Jenks Middle School Honors Orchestra. She just got accepted into the Honors Society at Jenks Middle School. She does a lot. We keep busy. Something my mom always taught me is that idle hands do the work of the devil, so keep yourself busy and you won't get in trouble. So we try to stay busy and focused, and both of my girls at one point were pageant queens together. My eldest decided it's not quite her thing. She really wants to focus on the modeling and makeup industry and hair. But my youngest is still a pageant queen, and the biggest things in our lives is volunteerism. So that's what we focus on and we do.
Okay. So, I'm going to back up a little bit. You just mentioned your mom. And so tell us, because, you know, sometimes the apple doesn't fall far, you know, that saying, because you are such an outstanding mom to your kids. Could you share a little bit about how your mom, you know, raised you?
Absolutely. My mom is Esther. She is currently a minister in her church in in Manhattan, New York. She lives in the Bronx. My mom recently in 2022 graduated right before her 60th birthday with her master's degree in social work. And she's a social worker in school. And it's because of her that I felt the need to progress in my education. Hence, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in business management last year, August. And it was a struggle. But I was like, if my mom can do it, and my mom is proving to me that no matter what, you know, your age, whatever you've been through in life, it could happen, then I felt it was my duty to do that as a mom and show my kids the same thing as well. And my mom had put her life to the side to raise myself and my two siblings, and we were homeschooled for approximately 7 years. And she had stopped working. She was just a housewife and a mom and a teacher, and she did everything for us. She even helped me raise my first child because I was a young mom. So we didn't always have the best of friendship, but other than my children, she is my bestie. Like, we're a group of besties. So, and I know people think it's kind of weird when you say, oh, my daughter is my best friend or my mom is my best friend. We definitely respect boundaries when it comes to parenting, being the mom, and I'm still the daughter, even though I'm a mom, and my children look up to me as, you know, mom. But the dynamics is that we have a great parent-to-child relationship and still a good friendship. I think that's very important to be able to build trust.
Oh, I totally agree. So also, and I want to point this out. So you were actually in the U.S. Navy.
Yes, ma'am.
And so thank you for your service.
Thank
That's
you.
Amazing. So will you share a little bit about when you decided to go into the Navy and why, and you know how that worked?
Absolutely. So being a young mom, I actually had my first child at 16. So, you know, a lot of people are like, whoa. But I had gone through some personal things in my life that put me in that position, and I opted to go ahead and have my child because that's just where my heart is. And I was a vocal major at Fairleigh LaGuardia High School, and from 9th through part of my 11th grade. And I decided to leave high school and go get my GED because parenting came first and I needed to work. But, just working day to day and trying to be a parent, I felt like wasn't financially enough. So I decided at 19 to join the military, and I gave joint custody to my mom. And she helped me raise my daughter, and I went in at the age of 20. And I was a logistics specialist. Then it was called a storekeeper. I lived on the USS Iwo Jima for some time. I wasn't active duty for too long. It was only a period of 2 years. And then the rest was reserve. But it gave me the opportunity to be able to financially take care of my daughter and help my parents as well, because they were helping me. Even then, it was a great experience. I mean, living on a ship with over 3,000 people. I worked in aviation supply. Boot camp was something else. But I was able to prove it to myself. And I went through it. It was an amazing experience. I would do it all over again if God allowed. But parenting came first. So I decided to step out once I was in my reserve time. And I was pregnant with my second child. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should step away from this. But I was hurt in the military, which hence put me in the position of becoming a disabled veteran. But through that, the VA has helped me tremendously when it came to even paying for my college education. And my children will benefit from that as well. So I think the military is a great option for people who are not sure what they want to do. They need some stability. They need some guidance. It's not for everyone, but it's great for some.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to get your perspective because you've done so many just really amazing things, and
thank you.
Up to this point in your life, and it's like, what affected that? How were these decisions made and that kind of thing. So thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's fascinating to live on a ship too.
It was fun. It was hard. I had a coffin bed.
A what? Coffin bed?
We call them coffin beds. Okay. Yeah. There were 3-level rack beds.
Okay.
And under them had our storage for our clothing. And they're very tiny. If you try to sit up, you would whack your head. It was really interesting. I didn't have problems with getting seasick, so it was fine. Mm-hmm. I would go out for workups and we'd go out to sea. I'd see people, we'd have swim call off the ship and people would jump into the water and then climb back up. I didn't do that. I only did it if I had to. But it was a great experience. I think it was worth it. I had a lot of personal growth that I needed. And it was a struggle from time to time, but I wouldn't change anything that I did.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That's really good when you can say that.
Yeah.
That you're happy with that you wouldn't make any other decision.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you'll tell us when you were a little girl, what you dreamed of becoming in your life.
I had 3 different goals. I wanted to be a nurse like my grandma on my mom's side. And I wanted to be an artist. And when I say artist, I mean in the makeup, hair, fashion, and I wanted to be a singer because I grew up singing in church, and it was just those are my goals. So I was going to achieve all of them, and I have literally done none of them. I do dabble in art very much. I love to paint. I love to do makeup. I love to do hair, cut hair, color hair. Even in the pageant world, we do a lot of stoning when it comes to crystals and the outfits, and I do it for fun, but it's not a career for me. So
see, what I thought you were going to say when I asked you that question was about the acting, the performing, because you said that in high school. So I was thinking, or earlier when you were talking about doing performances in high school.
So I was a vocal major for LaGuardia High School. Okay. And part of that did have to do with some acting. And I loved to, but it wasn't, to me, the singing was more of a passionate thing. And I had opportunities where I had been presented offers from, not major record labels, some minor record labels, and opportunities to become a signed singer. But in the direction in which they were going, I wasn't called for it. And I felt in my heart it wasn't appropriate because I'm far from perfect. And people see me, they're like, you're a Christian? Because, I look different. I have tattoos. But I felt like if I was going to become a singer in the industry, it was going to be for God's glory. not just to be a singer. So I never went in that direction. I'm just now, it's been a long time, and I do sing from time to time at weddings. If somebody asks me to, I'll go back home to New York City, and I've been at my cousin's wedding and sang there. And I'll sing at pageants. I'll sing, occasionally. But it's the first time in a very long time that I've had the opportunity to really dive into my passion for singing. And I recently auditioned in January for Theater Tulsa. They're putting on the play Once on This Island. And I went through a series of, I'm going to play this role, until they finally figured out, no, this is the role for you. And I will actually be casted as Agwe, one of the gods that turned goddesses. They changed them. They were all gods, and now we're all goddesses. So it's pretty cool. And I get to sing, and I get to act, and I get to dance. And it's going to be fun, because I do everything, really, for my children. So this is the first time that this is just my thing. And it just so happens that my youngest daughter, Dayann, wasn't going to be in the play, and now she is. But very minor role, but it's more, we do everything together. So I really couldn't have seen her not in it, and now she's in it, so it's even better.
That's so neat.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's this month in May, and so I'll have to give the details on my website about that,
yes,
so we can share
Thank
that.
you.
Okay, absolutely. So you've been mentioning pageants too, and you are so poised and put together, so I can see that. So, but tell us, because there are, that's almost like a certain type of person, I feel like, to be in pageants. So tell me what you enjoy about pageantry, because you and your daughter are both in pageants.
Yes, my eldest used to be, and now it's just myself and my youngest daughter. We started at her age of 5, and she's now 13, going on 14. And it was really a fluke how we got into it. We had a friend in Florida when we lived there at one point who was just like, I think you should, get your daughter in it. And I was like, okay. And she won. And there are different sectors of pageantry. There's glitz, there's semi-glitz, there's natural and scholarship. And we really dive into the natural scholarship side of pageantry. More of the Miss America, Miss USA, those types of pageantries that require volunteerism, that require you to be able to interview, on-stage questions, spokesmodel. And for me, it's really a passion for me because it gives my daughter the opportunity to be able to grow. At this young age of 13, she is capable of interviewing even for a job. If you sat her down right now, she could. She can get on stage and speak to hundreds of people. I have no worry for her in the future because I know that she will do what needs to be done to be able to achieve what she wants to in life. And she's a straight-A student. She is thriving. And pageantry just puts that passion behind her. It's fun. It's fun. You get to dress up and play princess. But it's really a job because our focus is volunteerism. And I'm going to back up just a little bit. What really made pageantry big for us when it comes to volunteerism is that we have been homeless before. I've slept in a car before. I've slept on families' couches. There was a period in my life where I struggled, and my kids struggled with me. It wasn't just everything is fun and fancy and hunky-dory. Even my youngest remembers when I had to share my food and I didn't have any because I made sure she ate. So now it's the opportunity. We're in a good place. Thanks to God, we are better. And it is our opportunity to give back to others because there are people who are in our positions who are sleeping on the street, who don't have clothes. And it is an honor to be able to do what we do. But how do we represent God in a way to be able to say, yes, I'm blessed. This is where I came from. And in that, it's giving others. When you look in the Bible, Jesus was doing everything for everyone in the community when he had nothing. And they still turned against him. And so for me, it's one of those things that if you're blessed to wear this dress, turn around and feed someone else. And we live by that. If you're not helping someone else, what are you living for? So this is why we do pageantry. We are part of the crowning moment, and it's a coaching group, and our lead coach, we call her the Supreme Leader. She's pretty cool. She lives in Louisiana, and even though she's distant, we stay in communication. From time to time, we'll actually meet and do some training in person. But the sole basis of pageantry with her is making sure that we are doing volunteerism. It doesn't matter how you do it. If you're working at a food pantry, if you are going out in the street and providing food to the homeless, if you're donating clothes, if you're even fostering pets, adopting, giving to shelters, find something to do, because it's the way of life. I don't even know how to express it except that I feel like it's what we live for. It's the human thing to do. It's love one another, love your neighbor as yourself, do unto others as you want done unto you. And just, it's just kindness. So that's why we do pageantry.
Wow. That's not what I thought you were going to say about the pageantry at all.
Well, there's great opportunities in it.
Yeah.
There's great opportunity. Who doesn't want to win? You always want the opportunity to be like, look, it's me with the crown. It's great, but that's not the entire purpose of it. So, and when you do have the opportunity to win, and you do wear a sash and a crown, what is the purpose of that sash and crown? What are you doing with it? You just being super pretty in a gown and going around and waving and hi, it's me and with this title? No. What is the purpose of your sash and crown? It's to be able to go out into the community and take your sister queens with you, take your family with you, and show the purpose of you wearing that sash and crown is to serve others. And that's what builds the pageant community. That's what brings other people to support you and for you to support them. It's not just all glamour, and there's great opportunities in it, scholarships and everything, but you don't always win. So what is the drive behind it? The drive behind it is to be able to serve others. I have this platform, let me use it. My daughter actually, I'm glad I led up to this. We decided that she needed a platform. In pageantry, we have social impacts or platforms for volunteerism. And she came up with, and I helped her, but she wanted to do something that really stated what volunteerism means to her. And she has a platform called #feed. And each letter stands for something. So F is food, E is education, the other E is encouragement, and the last one is dreams. And her motto is, let's #feed the world, because everyone deserves food, education, encouragement, and dreams. So let's work together to make that come true. So, and I use that. That's what we live by. I'm wearing a bracelet. That's my daughter.
Feed.
Yeah. We put it on stickers. We have bracelets. She even has her own business cards with her platform on it. And that's just what we live by. Everyone deserves food. Everyone deserves education. We need to encourage everyone, because everyone's dreams matter. Mm-hmm. So we might not all be able to financially do everything for everyone all the time, but it's about what you can do for one person one time.
Mm-hmm. And for going through different hardships in your life, do you feel like through God you were meant to go through those hardships then to get to where you are right now?
Absolutely.
We did have we had a phone conversation prior to this interview, but I didn't know about your heart for, I thought it was volunteerism, but going into all that you did for the pageantry, that's incredible. But I didn't realize that you all had been homeless. Mm-hmm. So I might ask you a little bit more about that, because that also, you can let that get you down, especially when you have two little ones to take care of.
And don't get me wrong, I did. At some points I did. Actually, if you don't mind, I have a tattoo, and it's a semicolon. And I'm not sure if you know what that means.
A pause?
Is a pause.
Okay.
Your life is not ended. A period ends a sentence. A semicolon is a continuation. There's still another part to that sentence. So that means your life is not done. Take a moment, look in the mirror, and remember, you don't need to give up. There was a time in my life where I tried committing suicide on more than one occasion. And then I realized everything that I went through wasn't really worth giving up, knowing that I still had my children depending on me. And sometimes it's hard to think, oh, you have to think about your kids. You know, sometimes you want to be selfish and you want to think about yourself. And then I remember my mom did it. You know, Jesus, he didn't even have any kids or anything. And he gave his entire life for us. And I'm far from the perfect Christian. I go through struggles every day. Every day is a new struggle. You know, financially, mentally. But just gotta pray. You gotta press on. And I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for my children. If it wasn't for those struggles. If it wasn't for me watching my parents go through what they went through, my mom continued to endure. So if all of that can happen, why can't I continue? And there's no reason. There's nothing in this world. Because God forbid I actually did end up taking my life. Man, that could literally end my children's lives. And it's not fair to them. And honestly, other than God, I owe my children and my mom everything. I live for myself. I live for Christ, but I live for my kids. I live for my mom. They are my everything. And everything that I do is for them. So.
Okay. Thank you for sharing
Absolutely.
that. Okay. So, would you want to share some words to your daughter, Dayann, who wrote you the letter? What would your words back to her be?
There is no such thing as perfect, but if there ever was, it is her. It's her and her sister. And I know that, Dayann, you're going to have flaws. You're going to fall. But I trust that she's always going to trust in God. I trust that you're always going to put your best foot forward. I am beyond grateful to be your mother. I owe you everything. I love you. There's no words to express how much I love you. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful for having been chosen to be your mom. And you're my bestie, you're my twin, you're my everything. And I'm honored to have you write that and put in for me to be an amazing mom. Because sometimes I don't feel like it. I feel like my kids deserve more. And, Dayann, you know that. I say to you all the time, I will give everything that I possibly can. But no matter what, you have a mom in me. You have a friend in me. I adore you. You are everything that I've hoped to be. And I love you unconditionally. Thank you.
Okay. That was perfect.
Thank you.
I see why you're so deserving of this being an amazing mom, just from meeting you and how incredible you are. Okay. Should we talk a little bit more about the play that you're going to be in?
Yes.
Let's do that real quick. So this is something that you and your daughter, which is going to be so fun to come and see that, once on this island.
Yes.
Okay. So if you'll tell us the role that you're playing and just a little bit about the story, because it's going to be this month at the PAC.
Once on this island, I've had the opportunity, I'm casted as Agwe. And Agwe is, it's the Jewel Antilles, this location that's happening in Haiti. And Agwe is the goddess of water, kind of like agua in Spanish, water. And the role, I'm play a part in it, this whole love triangle situation with Timoon, who, it's really the story of colorism, of love, of passion. But, back then there was still the division because of color and race. And this beautiful young lady who falls in love with someone who's just way out of her league. And they have their time together. But, of course, because of, past requirements and pre-marriages, she doesn't end up with him. And the story itself is really awesome, also sad, but also amazing, but also the truth. but it's a musical, so it's like fun. But when you really get into the story, it's one of those, it's just like, wow. To believe that it actually happened like that for real back in the day. You know, you couldn't be with someone because of the color of your skin, or, you know, prearranged marriages. And I know that even in some locations, it's still like that. So being a part of this, you know, stage play is just amazing. The director, Oboom, and our choreographer, our pianist who's been helping us with the singing is amazing. Everybody in the cast. I have 3 other friends who are goddesses, and it has been so much fun. It's a lot of work, but it's finally something that I'm getting to do that I thought I would eventually do one day, and now I am. And to be able to do it here in Tulsa, you know, considering the history of Tulsa and Black Wall Street and everything, is a big opportunity. And I originally fell into falling in love with Theater Tulsa and the vision with director Oboom because I went to Reflections last year and they had a play at TPAC. And it was just like, man, if I could just have a little piece of that and play my role and have the opportunity to be of something great, you know, kind of like building a Black Broadway out here with him. I want in, and I'm in. So it's really beautiful. It's going to be really colorful, singing, dancing. It's just, and I think it's something that would be great for everyone. You know, kids may not understand it as much, but it's really going to impact everyone in a different way. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you there and everyone else.
Gosh, no kidding. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Okay, so now really in wrapping up. Okay, my theme for this year is Grow More in 2024. And so I would love to know how you are growing, either personally or professionally.
I would say personally, you know, I'm far from perfect. I stated that before. But one of the things that I realized that I've strayed away from is building my relationship with God. And I am getting myself back on track. Grow more in 2024 with Christ. That's how I'm doing it this year. Spending more time reading the Word, making sure that my daughter, we break down the Bible. And not just going to church, but it's really in how you handle situations with other people. It's really how you allow God to reflect in your life as a light. And that's what I'm doing this year in moving forward for the rest of my life. Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Him. Every day is another opportunity to do something better. Practice makes progress, not perfection. So if I'm practicing His Word on a daily basis, and I'm showing that through my conversation, through my writing, through my actions, then I know I'm growing. And there's going to be struggles, there's going to be impacts, but it's whether or not I allow it to make me take 10 steps backward, or if I fall 1 step backwards and then move 10 steps forward. And that's my goal. Grow more in 2024 with Christ.
Okay, I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, this has been great getting to know you. I didn't know you very well, and I'm a huge fan now.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate you. I'm trying to be, you know, just a better person, a better mom, just a better friend in general. Mm-hmm. So this opportunity has been absolutely wonderful, and I truly appreciate you. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, that's a wrap on this week's episode. I want to thank you for listening to the Sharing Passion and Purpose podcast. It means the world to me, and I'd love to connect with you. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Sharing Passion and Purpose, and Twitter at Passion Sharing. Also, if you like this podcast, it would mean a lot to me for you to subscribe, rate, and review it. And as always, all my show notes will be available on my website, sharingpassionandpurpose.com.